And we're live. Welcome back to the Pariah Podcast. We are officially in episode 18 of the pod. As
Nice.
always, the Premier League is delivering, and we're here to talk about it and everything else going on in the world of football. I think there was one team that stood out this week because they played two games, one more than everyone else. Manchester City took on Chelsea and Brentford,
hmm
and they drop points. I mean, you don't hear that often, right? Chelsea successfully held Man City to 1 point. Could have
Chelsea, Chelsea,
possibly
Chelsea.
grabbed
Chelsea.
could have possibly grabbed all three on another day. But Rodri did Rodri things
Mhm.
and City escaped with a point. If you had offered me that before the game started, I think all of
Yeah, I
us
would take
here
it. I'd
would have
take that.
would have taken it. I think the entire league was rooting for Chelsea that day. I mean, given what we just said, right, about taking it, Faris, give me your thoughts. Were you disappointed with the draw, or what were your overall feelings?
I think how the game went, the first like 60 minutes, I would be pretty disappointed with the draw. I thought
Mm.
we set up really well and we were playing to our strengths, as in sitting back, countering. I think, and if we go into more detail, we can talk about that actual subs, but I think Poch's mind changed at like the 60-minute mark to play very conservative and to like set up shop. And I was watching this with you and I was telling you right then and there, like it's too early to be calling it quits on this game. Like it's just a 1-0, one goal lead at the Etihad. And then what happened. We conceded. We probably could have conceded one more time, that Holland chance. So yeah, pleased overall, but I think we could have won that game. I don't know what you guys think.
I think for you guys, it's like these kind of tactics that Poch is going to employ is literally a consequence of how young the team is and how
Mm.
inexperienced he feels with the team so far. Like, give it. I mean, if he gets a couple more years with it, he doesn't make those same exact changes.
But
And I
I
feel
would
like
say, do you think that like that performance I think was pretty impressive for a young group to stay
100%.
that
Oh
stay that
yeah.
And
focused?
as a team, I have always said Chelsea has a great squad, and
Mm.
individual players are able to perform greatly in a particular game if they want to, and they have shown us those games in various games throughout the season. But
Yeah.
it's
The
just a
consistency.
consistency that's gonna have to come with time, and we'll see if Poch can take you there. But
I
Yeah.
think
these.
having like such a young squad in general is going to give you a lot of up and down moments, but
Mhm.
that game particularly, just like as a unit, that was something I hadn't really seen from the club. Like to be able to withstand that much pressure and not just be sitting, but being able to attack and link up play during the counters. And like, I don't know, it seemed like our players have gotten slowly, they've gotten a little smarter over as the
Mhm.
season has gone by to handle more, difficult things.
Yeah, I do want to highlight one player that was my man of the match, Gusto at right back.
Yeah, it was class.
He did everything that day. I
Mm,
think City really tried to attack down that left flank, and he was there every single time. And even more importantly, we talk about this being a young team. Dude, he is the coolest guy on the pitch. Very
yeah.
calm. Like every player, I think, on that day showed a little bit of nerves, right? A little bit of
Mhm.
nervousness, especially when we got later down that second half. But if
Yeah.
if as a Chelsea fan, if there's one player I would have wanted the ball with consistently, it would have to be Gusto. And I don't know, I wasn't really familiar with this game. And
I
now I'm
think
familiar.
not many people are in general because again, no one will ever like say a player on a team that's losing is good. No one will give them that kind of credit in a sense. So
Right.
like I see other fans like chatting about like, oh, is Gusto even better than this Connor Bradley kid? Not to get into that conversation, but I'm just
Whoa.
saying if people
Is
if
this the
people
new
watch
Trent versus Reese already
if
forming?
people watch him play, they would be able to make an opinion about it. But instead, they only watch him in the big games. And I see, I
I
understand
think
it.
I think there's also a bit of like Chelsea fan inflation, right? Like you got dudes telling me like, oh, Badia Chile is better than Saliba. I'm gonna take their words,
I don't know. I don't
with
know if I'm
less
saying that,
significance.
dude. If he always has like these made up Chelsea fans that are
You know what
popping
it
in,
is?
dude.
You know what it is, bro? I use the straw man, right? There will be one ridiculous take on Twitter with like 2 likes, but that is now every single Chelsea
That's
fan in my
so
head.
bad.
There was some Liverpool fan comparing Endo and Rice. I was
Oh
like,
my
all
God.
right, you guys keep him. We'll keep our guy. Um, but yeah, look, I honestly believe at halftime you should have been up at least 2-0. Um,
Hmm.
I still think you have an attacker problem. I know the narrative on this podcast for the last 2 months has been, oh, it's a Poch issue that's trickling down to the players, right? I don't know how much better he could have set you guys up. You guys looked super clean on transitions.
Yeah.
The final action was lacking, and you can't make players execute final actions.
I don't know if I would if I have ever gone in 100% on saying it's one individual person. I know I did
Hmm.
have one episode saying, Poch should go, and that was
Hmm.
more or less on the winning, losing, winning, losing.
Hmm.
But I wouldn't say that like in the case of like the players he's been dealt as well, like I agree with you. He has definitely set us up in the best way. And that match in particular, you could say definitely Jackson could have scored one, Sterling could have had another one. There were definitely chances to be, made. But has my opinion changed? Like, I would say this, like I do want Poch to definitely see out the season. And I don't even think there's any real talk about him getting fired. I know
Hmm.
there's a small section of Chelsea fans that want Decherby. I'm like totally against that in any way. We can talk about that later.
The
But yeah,
brightinification.
yeah, but no, I don't want him at all, dude. But that being said, like I think Poch is really doing the best with what he can, and he is still, it's a both things. He's still having a bit of profiling things. Like it's not the perfect situation for anyone involved, I guess is
Hmm.
the best way to sum that up.
Yeah, I think what hurts him even more is like the price tags behind his supposed like squad that isn't all that, right? Like I think
Yeah.
people on paper see, oh, like this is like a $1.1 billion squad, but it isn't, right? If we're being honest. So I think he's set back by that. And I'm gonna give you
Mhm.
a little bit of pushback on your point about like the setup changing in the 60th minute. I agreed with you in the moment just because my personal philosophy is like when there's like an inevitable force like City, you
Mhm.
want to give them the ball as little as possible. I understand that, right? Like they probably perform their best when you give them time to operate and think things through. But I'm gonna draw on some experiences as an Arsenal fan, right? And I
Okay.
and I don't want the assumption to be like, oh, Arsenal is just like Man City. We're not, but we are also a team that, like to develop play, like to hold the ball. Where our most disappointing results have come this season against opposition we should be beating is when they stay compact and when they lock it in, right? Like, of course, a goal will sometimes feel inevitable, but your best shot at stopping a team known for scoring is to put like 10 men behind the ball, is to take out your attackers who can't retain the ball and put on defenders, even if they're green like Casadei, right? Uh,
Yeah, I'll give you that, but I don't think necessarily he changed. I think we were still compact after the 60th minute. I think the substitutions, like you said, with like, players that can retain the ball. We took off players that could retain the ball. We took off Palmer,
yeah,
Jackson, I
Palmer,
think
that one
Jackson
didn't make
remained.
sense. Yeah.
Sterling, I think Sterling went off. Sterling and Palmer were the only ones giving us a bit of breathing room,
Hmm.
even if it
Hmm.
wasn't always a positive pass. So I was just a bit confused. Nkunku came on, he looked a little rusty.
Yeah.
He's not really a nine. He was kind of being forced to play up there and do some stuff, but it was just questionable things, like the Cassidy one. Sure, he's tall, he can win headers, but we're not really bringing anything down. He's just it was confusing. I think we had that game, man. Like at least
Yeah, I think the personnel
we could have seen
switches
out we
were
could have
weird.
seen out a win.
I don't think there's any situation where Cole Palmer should be getting subbed off. Like
Yeah.
in any Chelsea game, I don't think there's many situations
No,
where
definitely.
Sterling should be, especially when he got the goal. I think managers sometimes suffer from this thing where like, oh, if this guy scored once or twice, there's no shot he's scoring again. Like,
I don't know if
like,
it's
like a
that.
like a gambler's fallacy. I really do think it's that. Like, because like, what other reason is there to sub off someone on 2 goals or 1 goal? At least I noticed Arteta doing this. Usually, the person that scores is the first person out of there, and it's
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Sterling, I just think he was an option to like again get the ball out of the channels and out
dude,
of like
screw everything else. He could
just
run. He could
yeah,
put the
exactly. And
ball
if
down
Hmm.
and
City's
run.
breathing down your neck for like 5 minutes into like a certain play, you haven't touched the ball for 5 minutes. Like Sterling
Yeah.
can give you 30 seconds. And the best thing about Sterling is he can win fouls. Like he takes one touch, he
Yeah,
kind of like he'll hit the
for
ground,
sure.
sometimes a little soft, but he'll win you fouls, and that gives
He's
you 10,
senior.
15 seconds.
He knows game
Yeah.
management,
I
bro.
think even in this game, like I know I hate Mudryk, but I feel like that guy could have been an
I
outlet for you
completely
guys.
disagree.
No, I disagree.
I
I
was gonna
disagree.
Nah,
mention this.
let me tell you, like even if he at that point when you guys started bringing on like tall players to kind of hold the line and stuff, like him being there, I can guarantee he could give you some breathing space and like at least like
I
if
beg you
it,
to watch him play and
Yeah,
just see
nah.
him try to
That
hold the
guy,
ball.
no
that
He
no
guy
can't
is
if
hold
like
the
a
ball in
Potts
acres of space,
bro. They
dude.
should call him Mr. Beast with how many giveaways he gives every single game, bro.
Stop it.
Like
I'm not even gonna
it,
acknowledge that one. That's
it's
awful.
it's insane, dog. Like he would pass the ball straight to City's
that
hands. It's the
that's the
last player you
thing.
want out there.
I'm telling you, like Potts' game plan should be, hey, take the ball, run to the corner. Not no try no don't try no passes, don't try no shots
You
from long
see,
ranges.
that's your
Run to
mistake.
the
You think that
corner.
guy can listen. You don't think he's being coached? You think he's being taught to do the things he comes out and does?
He just I have, mixed feelings about him as well. I think he needs so much more than
They need to
just
get
basic
that.
training. He needs like a whole relearning of the
He
sport.
needs a master's degree, bro. He needs to go to school. They
But I'm
need-
sorry, it's too easy to say like, oh, if you just put him on the fast guy against City, there'd be space to run into. He's not that guy, dude. He can't keep the ball. I'm sorry. Bro has the worst dribbling on the team.
I tend to
On
agree.
the other side, on the City side, I feel like you guys have been talking about how Chelsea should have taken that game, bro. But I'm telling you, the
Yeah,
amount of
Holland.
chances City missed, like that's
Holland.
an easiest dub of this of the like if they had put away your chances, it would have been a bad game for you guys. Like real bad. Like
I think Holland had like one clear cut one. I'd say that he should have scored.
nah, bro, at least three clear cut.
Really?
Three,
I didn't think the first header was
he
clear cut, dude.
scores those, bro. He scores those. Like the amount of
It's a
his
tough shot.
his it is a tough shot, but he scores those.
No, I
Like
agree. Yeah.
if you know like Haaland puts away those with ease. Like if the goals he scores, like that is expected of him. Like
That's true.
there these
He
that
should have
game
just scored then, dude.
he should have. You're right,
I
but
guess we'll never know.
Guess we'll never know. I mean, Jackson could have put away like five.
That's
No, it's
true.
fine.
But yeah, different levels to this game, I guess. I think that's all I had for the Chelsea game. You guys have anything else?
I don't have much on the City side. I feel like we kind of ignored them with our
Dude, they're
lack of a
good.
City
Like,
presence. Yeah, they're
yeah,
just good.
yeah. Like
They
what
held the
can we do?
ball. They made chances.
And they showed they were good versus Brentford earlier today. Dog.
Hmm.
Look, I texted the group chat 5 minutes into the game, like, oh, this is gonna be a City W. Just because, and like I don't want to say I told you so. Not because City were
Hmm.
playing good, because Brentford for the last week, when I was counting on them to put up a fight against Liverpool and City, dog, they're not even doing the basics. Like you watch them right now, and it looks so disorganized, so like bummy. Like for the goal today, you watch Holland get the ball. He's at like half, bro. Like
they're trembling.
there's so much
Yeah.
still to run. This guy just falls almost as if he doesn't want to run. Like
His
I'll just
first
take
touch
myself
was
out.
so ugly. Hans'
It,
first touch was ugly.
it
He
was
said, "Nah."
unbelievable.
Who was that? Was that Ben Me?
Ayer, no Ayer.
Oh,
Like shades of Conte versus Martinelli a couple years ago. Like bad touch, but somehow the defender fumbles it. Like maybe it's because the touch was so bad that he thought he could like,
Get it?
yeah.
gamble and grab it, but I don't know. It's just I
I think it's
hate.
match fixing. Actually, let's get that narrative going, dude.
You think they slid Ayer some stacks before the game?
But you
And
know
that,
what? Like what I've noticed, like these two games combined, like Man City is not performing like Man City. They're creating chances, but I'm telling you, like the narrative. I don't remember. You guys remember when Arsenal were dropping points? What was the narrative? The narrative was Arsenal making chances. They're not finishing off the chances.
Mm.
City, I think, can go down that lane, especially with like Chelsea. Like they did drop points because they didn't put away their chances. They had multiple chances, and this Brentford game easily could have been one of those games. But City, honestly, throughout the season, there has multiple of these games where they've created chances, didn't really make. They just got that one shot in and did 1-1-0.
I think the
Uh,
I
difference
agree.
is, I think the difference between their woes and ours is they
they
have
have
a guy who's supposed to be the best striker in Europe.
not just one guy, they got multiple guys that
Yeah.
are the S factors. That's the
And
difference.
I don't
Yeah.
know if you saw, but like Foden had a really good shot that just got like randomly blocked. There was another goal line clearance. Like
Yeah.
I would say their issues are a lot less worse than our
Yeah, they're
issues.
like a little understated.
Yeah. So I don't see that being a problem. What I do see being a problem is like overall, I'm not overly impressed by Man City right now.
Hmm.
To
But
their own standards.
to their own
Yeah,
Like
standard,
exactly.
right?
like
They're
it's
still better
I
than 18 teams.
no, I agree with Nibs on that too. Like what we're used to them doing is so high that like when they kind
Yeah.
of come back down to earth, it's kind of like, oh, how come they're not scoring 4 or 5 goals? You
Yeah.
know?
And
Yeah.
we're seeing a trend of City going behind. It happened in the Champions
Yeah.
League. It happened versus Chelsea. Like there's this, I don't know, concentration issue, whatever you could call it. But they're not looking like untouchables right now.
Hmm.
We know that tends to change once we get into like March, April, May. We'll
Hmm.
see
Yeah,
if
the
that
run
happens.
in.
And you see Pep being smart managing things. KDB was benched today, and he was asked why. He said, "I didn't want to risk him. He was. It's not like he was injured or felt something. It's just like, oh, there's a midweek game. Let's rest him."
Dude,
I
I
think.
I triple captained him on my FPL.
Oh yeah, that didn't quite work out for you.
I think he got like 6 points. Awesome. Just so sick.
You pass the ball, Nico, Vini. That's what Forrest thought he was doing.
Oh, dude, I
Uh,
hate FPL, man.
Now, whenever I use a chip on there, it's like actually gambling. Like I feel it.
The worst week.
It's like
It's always like the
adrenaline.
worst game week in the history of
Yeah.
the sport.
yeah.
KDB literally stopped playing out of protest.
It's so stupid.
That'll happen. Okay, so that's City out the way. I don't really want to talk Liverpool, but I think we're actually before Liverpool, just quickly get Arsenal out the way, just because I want to spend more time on Liverpool. Arsenal won 5-0. Um, Amazing victory. I loved
Mm,
every single second of it. That makes it 11-0 in the last two games,
let's
and it's
go.
huge for our goal difference because we are now, uh, I believe now we sit with the best goal difference in the entire
Yep.
division. Uh,
36.
and with how tight this title race is looking, that could prove to be pretty useful.
Nah, I
I'm
could not imagine winning the league on goal difference, bro. That
dog.
would be insane.
I would actually
I
do it.
I would take that. Like,
I know, but it would be
Oh,
so crazy, dude. Then everyone would go back in time and be like, yo, that one Martinelli goal won us the league. Yo, that Kai Havertz goal won
yeah,
us
I'm
the
gonna pick
league.
the Havertz one. If it comes down to it, I'll be like, oh, that Havertz goal.
I can't live like that,
Dog,
dude.
if we won the league on goal difference, I would go with pots and pans to the streets of Miami. Everyone would be like, what the hell is he celebrating? And,
Oh my God.
we'd figure it out. But yeah, super duper convincing win. What I liked most about that game, and call me a football hipster, dog, Kivior is looking like the truth. I
oh man.
don't want to see Zinchenko playing while this kid is on form and healthy. Like he is doing everything perfectly. Like he's
100%.
learning how to invert a rock defensively. Showed that against
Hmm.
Liverpool as well.
Hmm.
Um, I'm liking everything I'm seeing. Bukayo Saka looks like Bukayo Saka again. We spoke like in a couple months ago about how he's in a bit of a slump. I think he's at the peak of his powers currently. Like I
Mm.
don't think there have been that many better games. Not better games, but like better just like like gaps of form for
Hmm.
Saka
Yeah.
in the last I don't know, 2-3 years. I saw a crazy stat today because by scoring against Brentford, Holland has
Hmm.
officially joined the club of players who have either goal or assist against every single Premier League club they faced. The other two players on that list are Bukayo Saka and Harry Kane. And everyone on Twitter was like, "Oh, Saka frauded his way onto this list with assist." Do you want to know what's crazy? Out of the 21 uh Premier League clubs that Saka has faced, take away the assists, he scored against 19 of them. And the only
Damn.
two he hasn't scored against is Luton, who we play at home soon, and Leicester, who are relegated for the moment. But I just think like, bro, the numbers can't be lying this much, right? Like, I know no one even debates this seriously anymore, but like, Bukayo Saka is on another level. Like, I personally just laugh when I see comparisons to players like, I don't know, Palmer or like I've been seeing crazy things. Not to disrespect those players, but there's like honestly levels to this game and the consistency and class he shows at 22.
Yeah.
You just gotta respect game, man. I'm gonna be honest.
And Rio Ferdinand does not respect that game. The man
No,
has a
look,
personal
Wait, what did he
look.
agenda
say?
against that.
He said,
He's
look,
been, yeah, he
look,
just keeps saying like this guy is not world class. He's gonna get there. You know,
I'm fine with
yeah,
that because I think world class is like
bro.
one
What
of
is
those.
world
Yeah, it's
class?
such a made up word that
Nah, don't get
everyone.
into the terminology,
Yeah,
dude.
everyone has a different definition for it. If your definition of world class is that Saka hasn't done it in the late stages of the Champions League, you're right. He hasn't done it in the late stages of the Champions League. We will see, right? But you can debate semantics all day long. The truth is that Saka is the truth, right? Like I don't think there's many clubs where he doesn't start. Maybe like two or
Bro,
three in the
his
entire world, right? Where
I'd
he
say
wouldn't
he's
start.
top 10 players of the world right now.
I
I
I
I
would
c-
tend to agree, but that might be something where like people, debate or
nah, I
whatever.
really think people will struggle to find like
I
11
could
better
name
players than him.
like 15 on
I-
a different
15,
episode.
15
On
better
a
than
Messi,
Saka. Messi.
Ronaldo.
on a different episode. You know, if I had
All
some
right.
time.
Yeah, that's a fun. We'll save that topic for
We'll
next
say
time.
that. We'll say that.
I
All
want
right.
more Saka haters in the cut. I think that's gonna have to be like a me versus like five
I
situation.
think maybe the point of view that other people are taking, and this is I nowhere agree with this, but he definitely has the numbers. You know, I saw the crazy thing. He's like, 100 goals or 50, what was it? 50 goals, 50 assists, something crazy, like
Yep.
Mhm.
up there with
49-51.
Ronaldo.
Yep.
Yeah, that was what it was. But I think what people are like getting at him for, and this is just merely like a Twitter thing, I think, is like the aesthetics of how he got those, like
Yeah.
maybe not
Mhm.
the smoothest player. And that's all just bullshit. Like it's just like again, social media stuff. Like at the end of the day, bro, no one cares. You want players that are gonna score the goals, win the games, win your trophies,
Mhm.
and he's definitely that kind of player. I don't want to like hype him up too much, but he's a good player. He's decent. He'll get
Yeah,
there.
I agree. Like he's definitely not the most aesthetic player, but he's insanely effective at what he does, and that's all I need from him.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's not much to say on Arsenal. I'm loving how we're scoring goals, but I'm loving how we're defensively solid. Nibs, anything to add?
I'll just add another thing. I had this epiphany, I guess.
Oh shoot, coach.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been a ride or die for Gabriel Jesus, but I do not want to see that man in that team anymore.
It's
Yeah,
over.
I've been thinking, man, like for a football team to win games, you need X factors, and that man is just not it. He's gonna fill that. He's gonna fill that position. It's just gonna be a void. He's gonna do all his theatrics. Yes, you should get praise for all that, for all the hard work, all the all the pressing that he does. But at the end of the day, goals win games, and I cannot rely on him to get goals. And I'd much rather have another player, whether it be Havertz playing the false nine or Trossard doing taking most of his chances
Mhm.
and interlinking most of the left side with Martinelli that may give us a different outlook in the forward gameplay. And I would much rather have anybody else than Gabriel Jesus. That's the one thing I'd say. And I do not want to see that man come in unless it's like we're already 3 up, 4 up in any game yet.
Damn.
look, on the Man City double agents, right? Zinchenko
Yeah.
and Jesus. I gotta I can't ever disrespect them like crazy because if I'm being honest, they got us here, right? Like the fact that 2 seasons in a row we're in and around the conversation is largely thanks to those two, right? They were the difference 2 summers ago. So I'm not gonna say anything crazy, but Nibs is right. Like we have been far more effective without them both in the last few weeks. But I'm gonna say this. Trossard has had horrible games for us. and they tend to happen when he starts. So 2 games alone is not enough to convince me on Trossard. I think Jesus over his Arsenal career is still the better striker than both Havertz and Trossard. But I think in a title race, form matters, right? So you play to form.
Yeah.
But
I'm not more so like, hey, drop Jesus because Trossard is performing or Havertz is performing. I'm more so reminiscing on the things that Jesus did during his performances that frustrated me or that
yeah,
didn't
I think
get
Jesus
it.
definitely deserved to be dropped.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that, hey, if Trossard does drop, then you bring Jesus back because he's still a quality player that I think provides a lot, especially in the Champions League. He's been on fire in that. So I'm not gonna write off Jesus just yet, but it definitely has been a woeful bit of
Dude, is there any more coveted position than the Arsenal striker signing that's gonna come?
dude, I'm
Like
telling
the
you
final piece of the
The
puzzle.
final is the
that
puzzle.
I don't mean to exaggerate, and I swear I believe every word I'm about to say.
Oh God.
That Arsenal striker signing this summer, it will happen. There will be a striker signed this
Yeah.
summer. I could put my life
Probably.
on that. That determines whether or not we have a dynasty for like the next
Yeah.
5 years. Like
100%.
genuinely, if we get it right, it could be over for the next 5 years. Because
I
you look
agree.
at us today, I think the two things that have been talked about most this season. At the beginning, we had our goalkeeper issue. I think that has solidified in the last 2 months. The only thing left to address is our striker. We have our wingers. We have our DM. We have our creative forward. We have our back four. We have our keeper. And they all perform fantastically. What the one person we do not have is our striker. If we get a guy, that's why like I know Mbappe is a lost cause, right? Like he's going to Madrid. I will tell you that today. But if there was ever a time to say,
Don't do it.
screw the wage structure,
Stop it.
screw how much money it takes, you get
Stop
the
it.
best striker in the world and you put him in this team, and I guarantee you every piece of metal in Europe is ours for the next 5 years. Like
I'm not gonna entertain Mbappe, but I do think Arsenal can really use that mentality to go get Osimhen. I think they can push and get him.
dude, no racismo at all.
Don't do it. Oh, two terrible takes. Don't do it.
I'm not gonna lie to you at all.
You don't want Tony and you don't want
African
Osimhen?
strikers from foreign leagues. I've seen this movie before. I'm not.
Right.
Look, bro. Osimhen, I watched the clips. I'm incredibly moved. He looks. If he could do the things he's doing here, take 150 M's, whatever you want, Napoli. I don't care. But I just worry so much, especially with Serie A strikers. It doesn't always.
Dude, who else is on the market that you could even put that money towards?
That's the thing, bro. I don't know. Like, here's what it
You
is.
can't go out there and get a
Here's why I don't
Sesko
get
or a
paid money.
Ferguson,
Here's
dude.
why I don't get paid money to do these things. I don't want to live with that decision. Whoever has to live with that decision this summer, I pray for them because
And you know what? You know what? Based on that, I have full trust and belief in Arteta bringing the right guy. I'm not even gonna lie. And he knows there's a deficiency in the striking position, and the track record he has, bro. Whoever the fuck he brings, fuck Egypt, 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old, ugly looking
dog,
with no running form. I'm backing that motherfucker till the end.
I heard the name Xerxes and I had to log off Twitter for the day, dog. While other clubs were talking about Mbappe and Osimhen, my club is scouting Xerxes, dog. That sounds like a FIFA YouTuber from the 2000s. Like it's insane. We will see. I will be watching, very interested. I think it's time we move on to the last in the three-pronged title race we have, and it's Liverpool, who also won their game over the weekend. I think the game matters less than other news that has come out this week. Liverpool have been, the first club in the history of the universe to suffer from this thing we call injuries. And our good friend Faris, I think you have the list of injuries. Do you want to read that out?
I can read it out, but again, I don't know how many of these are like actually out for some time. And we know Thiago's been out. He's not really a real player.
He's not a player. He's not there.
Yeah. Trent could be back soon. I don't know.
Mhm.
Okay,
Allison is definitely out for like a month at least.
that's
Mm.
big.
And then Matip, Curtis Jones, Darwin Nunez, I don't think it's something long term either. Jota seems long term.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Soboslai could be back. And then I'm looking at this list and they just threw on two guys that Ben Doak, I don't even know who that is.
that's not a real player.
And Balsatic, I don't even know
Oh,
that's how you
okay, no.
pronounce it.
So I'll say that Eastern European guy you mentioned at the end,
Yeah.
him and Matip have been injured for time. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
those guys haven't had a say this season. So I think those are less important. The ones that are big, they're gonna miss Jota. They're gonna miss
Yeah.
Allison. Those are the two big ones, and the ones that are likely returning soon, and Trent, Szoboszlai, and Darwin. Those are also pretty high impact players. Um, I'm I'm gonna I'm gonna say objectively what I feel. I look at the Premier League table today. Everyone has played all the games they need to play, and Liverpool sit top,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
Meaning there's no chance City has a game in hand. They are 1 point clear of City. I'm gonna bring up this fixture list in a moment. Having looked at it thoroughly, you can objectively say Liverpool have the easiest run in.
Mhm.
If Liverpool lose it from here,
Don't be saying crazy
I'm
stuff.
not gonna say it's the biggest fumble of all time, but it's a fumble. The title is theirs to lose as of this moment today.
Yeah.
And I really don't want to hear anything about injuries because I come from a club that had to start Rob Holding in the last 12 games.
That's what I feel. I feel like you have this feeling because of what Arsenal went through last season through injuries, and now you want other people to say, "Don't talk about injuries, just talk about where you are." I don't
Yeah.
know if,
Yeah.
and if that's your thinking, you're allowed to do that.
Yeah. 100%.
No, because you know what? At the end of last season, I wanted to make excuses like,
Mhm.
Saliba got injured. That's a truth, right? And Liverpool fans can tell me they have injuries. That is the truth. But at the end of
You
the
just gotta
38 game
you gotta
campaign,
deep it, dude. You gotta deep it.
yeah, it doesn't matter. Like no one's gonna give you the trophy because you had injuries. We didn't get the trophy because we had injuries. That's on us for having Rob Holding as our backup. Let's
Mhm.
see who Liverpool have to step up, right? That is part of the title race, right?
That's true.
So
No, I'm with you on that. I think, yeah, obviously injuries, you just have to accept it for what it is. For just like short term though, like it is like a couple of names, but I think they have enough to keep it going. Well, they'll get
more
Trent,
than enough.
they'll get Trent and Zal's like back. I think Allison's probably the only one you're gonna be like, okay. Anytime Liverpool have had a backup keeper, it's always been like a meme. Like
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
the Adrian days? Like he used to like
Adrian.
literally concede goals every game.
And the OG, Harris
Yeah.
and
Oh,
Karius.
Karius,
Carrots.
yeah. So
Liverpool and
that one,
goalkeepers used to be a horrible situation until
Mignolet.
Allison. Yeah, it
Mhm.
was never pretty. But look, I think they'll be fine. But what I did want to go through with you guys is this fixture list. I'll
Mhm.
share it to our Twitter group so you guys can.
Who are their less like what I'm trying to say here, like their last big six teams,
Last big six teams.
and say if it's home or away too. I want to know
Yeah,
this
I got you.
Yeah.
I'll send you the thing. Okay, so the last
because
big six team they play, if you count Aston Villa, it's Villa away. If you don't count Aston Villa, it's Tottenham at home. Um, what I did do that was pretty interesting is I went through this fixture list and I saw every single team that each of the three teams will play. So that means these teams get to decide who wins, basically, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And on this list, it was uh Man United,
Oh yeah.
wow,
Brighton,
nope.
Wow.
Villa,
Mm.
Mm.
Tottenham, uh, Wolves,
Dude, there are some huge games left.
and that's it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
United, Brighton, Villa, and Tottenham will basically decide the next Premier League winner, in my opinion. Um, not counting those fixtures, I would have to agree that Liverpool's run in is the easiest. I would say City's is the second easiest. and then I think we have the hardest run in left. But it's all marginal, right? It's not going to be an excuse at the end of the season. Importantly, I think if you look at the last four games for each of the teams, City
Hmm.
have the easiest last four teams.
Mm.
So as I said two pods ago, this title will likely be decided on April 20th, 420. Big day for a lot of people. Um,
It's gonna be United,
I,
man.
I,
United is gonna do something crazy. I've been saying this for
you
weeks
think
now, dude.
so?
United are climbing their way up.
they're
You
gonna
And
did.
scam.
they're not even playing the best football, but they're climbing their way. They're gonna do something so annoying and they're gonna beat you guys.
Oh
It's gonna
my
piss you guys off
God.
because it's the last team you want
I
to lose the
might
title
kill
to.
myself. I might kill myself.
Importantly, we and Liverpool play United at Old Trafford. And I don't know about Liverpool's record there, but we have
They
only
killed them
won
last
there.
time.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. But we have only won there once in like the last 10 years or something crazy like that. So it's definitely a daunting game. Like I'm gonna be honest, the reason I'm saying it's Liverpool's title to lose is because I went through all these fixtures and I'm not extremely confident about most of them. Right? Like the Chelsea game for us scares me. The City game obviously scares me. The Brighton game away, the Villa game, the Wolves game away scares me.
Dude, in this image, it feels like Liverpool have the most home games too.
I think they do.
If I had to add it up,
I think they have
it that
seven home games left.
but their
Um,
last five has three away, so
y-
that could mean something.
yeah. But funny enough, and I saw a couple Liverpool fans bring this up. Arsenal's last game is Everton. If
Oh
it's
my God.
between Liverpool and Arsenal on the last day of the season,
They're not playing. They're
it
walking
they're
off.
not showing up, gang. Like that's our title.
Dude,
um,
that is a
I have
dream
a
scenario. And Everton
damn.
are like, but what if they're fighting relegation? Then
dude,
what?
Oh, that's
I
true.
think a boss call's got to get made. I think they got to be like, listen, we'll be back, but this is
That
forever.
I have a question. For well, specifically for Ifty, the Man City versus Liverpool game.
I don't.
If you were to just hope for a result right now,
Hmm. I would hope
who
for a Liverpool win.
wow, okay.
I believe in Liverpool falling apart a lot more than I believe in City falling apart. Um,
I mean, I think
Hmm.
and
that's just fair to say based off of 5 years of
Right.
evidence. Like, I
yeah,
don't even think
like
because I feel the same. I don't think it's like personal if I just like sit Liverpool more. I also think they don't have maybe the capacity to go all the way.
Eh, eh, but it gets worrying because Liverpool don't have that many other opportunities to drop points. Like, dude, we have time. We're on a podcast. Let's just fucking do it, right? Like it's
Mm.
Luton, Forest
Hmm.
wins, right? Then they play City. Then it's Everton away. I think City at home and Everton away back to back is a lot harder than
Yeah.
it looks, right? Then it's Brighton at home.
Brighton at home was our last Anfield loss, I think,
It was. Oh
in
my
like
God.
in the prime. I mean, a little
But
history.
then
I don't
it's
know if that affects
Sheffield.
anything.
Then it's Sheffield United. So all three relegation candidates, right?
Oh,
They're playing, right? Then you got United away. That's gonna be tough. Then you got Palace at home, cakewalk. You got Fulham away, should be a cakewalk. You got West Ham away, not the most difficult fixture. You got Tottenham home. Tottenham away this season has not been a very good team, so it's easier one, not the easiest. Then you have Villa away, which is a tough one, and you have Wolves at home.
No, yeah, they got cake run, bro.
well, then
It's
I'll ask you guys this: where, and if we're moving on to Arsenal for a second, where do you guys
Mhm.
think if Arsenal were to slip up, where would it happen on your fixture list?
I'm gonna say something
Just
crazy.
one game though.
Just
Don't
one
ask
game.
don't ask me
Like,
that question because
oh,
I'm
you don't.
overly confident right now. Like
Oh,
my
okay,
confidence in
whatever.
my team.
All right, that's fine.
I'm
That's
saying,
fine.
Forest, I
other than
think
the
I
city
think
away,
Chelsea take points off of us. I'm gonna be
not
real.
not not a chance,
I'm gonna be
bro.
real, bruh.
Man,
I
Not a
the
chance.
podcast would be so good, dude.
I would come in
Not a chance.
swinging, dog.
The thing is
And that
that
Wolf,
game is too soon, I think, to have a major effect. I know everything's gonna be very, very close in these last 10, 15 games, but I think if Arsenal were to even draw against us, it wouldn't like derail anything. I don't know if you guys feel the same. Because I can't say that right now. What, you guys are 2 points off top? Is that the case?
Yeah.
yeah,
I can't say that if you became 3 points away, or I guess that would be like a 5 point swing. I still can't say that it would cause enough of be like, in March you're saying the title's over. That's my feeling.
It's
The only thing
just
is City's right after.
Yeah.
man.
But
Here's
bro,
another thing. You in City have to juggle your Champions Leagues. Let's say you get into knockouts and
yeah.
like a pathway is made to be like, yo, we can actually get to a Champions League final.
Can I say something right
Then,
now? If when the brackets come out with the quarterfinals,
hmm.
we have a easier run,
Mhm.
dude, have this league. I don't care. Like, I,
Whatever, dude. This guy just a week ago was like, oh, if we win the
Nah,
Champions League,
nah.
but not the league, it doesn't count.
I think what Nee's seeing is like, bro, the near future is for us.
yeah, the next
Like
five, you had
the
the last
eras
five.
are coming to an
I
end,
got the
dog.
next five, dog. Like,
Oh my God.
but you can't ever bank.
Liverpool, Man City, save us. Liverpool, Man City, please.
If you can hear me, please.
But bro,
I
dog,
can't do this,
looking
man.
at these three schedules, man, these three teams, like, there's no like doubt that all three of these teams are like goated, like, playing the
Oh
best
shit,
football.
we snuck into the goaded
And
combo.
I'm just saying, bro,
Oh my
it's
God.
literally gonna be whoever takes the chances and grabs the challenge
Dude,
and
I saw
does
no
their thing.
anything tweet today that gave me goosebumps. He just screenshotted the top three and said, "This is what you want. Like,
Oh
don't
my
be afraid of
God,
this.
dude.
Embrace this." Like, and I'm here for it, bro. If we come out of this season trophyless, I will be upset. But it's way better than all the seasons we've come out trophyless, and it's
Don't
been
start
just
this now,
and,
dude.
and it's just been
Dude,
predetermined
that's how you
outcomes.
that's how you become a
I
streets
win
don't
no matter
forget team,
what.
dude. Dude.
But listen, I have so much faith in this team. We're such a young team, bro. Like, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say it's okay for us not to win now, but it's not the end of the world. Like, I'm not gonna be doom and gloom. I would love to win trophies this season, but I love how we're in the conversation now. You don't understand. Like, for years, my club was irrelevant, especially when I
No.
first really, really got into this. Like, we haven't even been a Champions League club. The last time I saw Champions League, I was in high school, in a sophomore in high school, bro. Like, it, I haven't seen a round of 16 in so long, dog.
Yeah, you guys had like a few straight years of
I
round of
might cry
16s.
tomorrow. Real talk, when that anthem comes on, I might actually cry.
Next week, dog. You got time.
But yeah, no, craziness. Let us know what you think about not the Champions League, the Premier League title race. Crazy, crazy things going on.
Hmm.
What else did we want to cover? I think we wanted to talk about
Bayern.
Bayern. Listen, bro.
Kind of lost my enthusiasm to talk about Thomas Tuchel, but we can do it.
Dude, look, I did a little bit of science in the last podcast. I don't know if you caught it, Forrest, but
I did.
listen, there's two independent variables specifically on Bayern, and they both come from London. One is Mr. Tommy Tuchel, right? And the other is Sir Harold Kane. Um, look, I don't know who it is. You got two independent variables. That gets confusing, right? It could be either. But it's one of them. Bayern, back-to-back game weeks in the Bundesliga have lost. Back-to-back games, Champions League and the Bundesliga,
Bundesliga.
Upamecano got red cards. I really want to know if that has ever happened before. Because typically with a red card, you're banned the next game. So
And
you're
I think
literally,
they're both double yellows too, I'm pretty
yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Usually
That's
with the
insane.
red card, you're banned the next game, so you can't get back-to-back red cards, right? Unless there's a
Right.
gap. But this guy managed it. He used the
He
fixtures
did
to
it. The funniest thing, he didn't even start the game. The man came on and managed
Oh.
to get two yellows on the second time
I mean,
around.
I guess that rule doesn't carry for different competitions,
I
right?
Yeah,
understand,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
that's why it's such a unique
Uh,
situation. Like, I don't know if that's ever happened before. Like, where in back-to-back games you get sent off. Um, but look, I'm gonna let Forrest make the case for Tuchel being the
oh,
problem. I'm gonna make the
okay.
case of Harry Kane being the problem because, dude, I didn't watch the game live, but I watched a replay of the game.
Mm.
At Bayern were 1-0 up at one stage, and Jamal Musiala
Oof.
played one of the nicest through balls ever to send Harry Kane through to make it 2-0. He was unable to. And then once Bayern had come back to 3-2. Kane had another chance to tie and he fumbled it, right? And look, Kane is a phenomenal striker. Kane has 23 goals for Bayern at this moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
But look, we talk about moments in games. That goal you score in a 5-0, 4-0 win does not matter if you fail to do it in that 3-2 loss, right? Like, and that has always been the stigma around Harry Kane, is that he disappears when the moment is biggest. People always give him credit for the success, the near successes he brought Spurs, but he's
Yeah,
also the same person that went
for
missing
sure.
to deny them the actual success, right?
Yeah.
Um,
But I'm not
I
gonna lie, like Bayern does this every season, but they end up winning the league because there
Yeah.
hasn't been any other team that kind of like keeps them at this pace. Bayer
Like,
Leverkusen
and
doing what
Dortmund
they're
handed it to him
doing.
last year, dude.
Exactly. Bayer Leverkusen doing what they're doing is
But
bringing
let's
up these
not call it too
conversations.
early, right? Because they could still fall apart. They're undefeated for now, so there's nothing for us to say they'll fall apart. But just the way the league works,
Dude,
I wouldn't be
I just don't think
surprised.
Tuchel is the guy for league campaigns. I think the personality is, and I know they lost their first round or first leg of their Champions League knockout, but
Mm,
I think he's always been catered towards these knockout tournaments where he can really
mm,
adapt, create tactics, and like set his team for just a single match, like put all his effort into this.
mm,
But when it comes to like
Uh,
longer span things where he has to think ahead, he has to put in rotations, he has to
mm,
factor out these things. I saw at Chelsea, like we always would just be like, fourth place, he would be content with that. But in the Champions League or we got to like FA Cup final with him, League Cup final with him, obviously the Champions League final, like he was pushing us there. Um, it's just, I don't know, like watching Bayern, like, I don't care enough about Bayern to be like, I think it's great for the league if they lose, genuinely.
yeah,
And this starts some chaos. But like knowing Bayern, like I saw they're like, yeah, they'll just probably just sack him, get another guy, and they'll be right back to it. So this is
okay.
great. Like I'm enjoying it.
I
yeah,
saw, you know how there's accounts on Twitter that like document who is watching the game? There were
yeah.
like 4 managers in attendance. Can you imagine the pressure?
No,
It's insane. Like,
I saw
like,
Nagelsmann was at the Leverkusen game,
dude,
and I was crying.
Flick is there. Everyone's there. Everyone wants that job.
that's crazy. They just
It's
got people lined up for that
I don't think
thing.
it's
Flick would go back, dude. I don't
dude.
know.
Yeah, he got disrespected. Um,
I'll take Ole.
no, he got he's out of job right now. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet saying Ole is interested, and I'm like, yo, that could be a movie, dude.
Is my Honda still there? Hold on. Uh, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they fumble it, but something feels different this time. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, a
that's
lot of
just
internal chaos, maybe.
yeah, and just seeing like, and you know what it really was, just seeing Thomas Muller mad. Like, why are you mad?
Dude, that was
Uh,
awesome, dude. I was messing with that.
yeah.
When he was yelling in German, I was like, yes, dude, be
Yes,
angry.
more. Yes.
Bro, he was just probably
Yes.
talking, and we think he's yelling.
He was just like having a nice day.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah,
Have a
my bad,
great
my bad.
time. Yeah. So there's that. The other big game coming up is the League Cup final. Liverpool will face Chelsea. In the
We
League
should
Cup.
just play our injured players versus each other. You know what I'm saying? Just put like a 7-on-8, whoever's hurt, everyone just
Hospital
go out there. Yeah, just kick the ball around. That'd be fun. I I I'll just tell you right now, no analysis, nothing. I think we'll win the game. I feel confident. I feel
Wow. I've
confident.
been
First off,
waiting.
we're at Wembley. We
Same.
don't have to deal with Anfield. I'm begging the ref, tosses one for, kind of screwing us over last time. I think we're in form. Yeah, they're in form, but they're gonna be like, oh, we just lost to some guys. Kalp is leaving, and we
Oh no,
lost.
Klopp is leaving. No.
And we lost, dude. You have no idea. We've lost the last 5 finals at Wembley we played in. 2 League Cups
Oh,
and 3 FA Cups. And
yeah.
two of those, one FA Cup, one League Cup, were both to Liverpool in the same year. So here's my thinking. You can't lose another one, right? You can lose
It's
5, you
just a
can't
law of
lose 6.
averages. It's
Literally,
just
you
a law
can't
of
lose another one,
averages.
dude.
But that's when
Both of
it's
those
funniest.
losses were scoreless penalty shootouts that we lost, by the way.
Yeah.
So
Not the
I
Arsenal
think
ones though.
Yeah, no, those were.
oh no, just the two Liverpool ones.
Um, I back you to win too. I,
100%.
Let's
and
I've
you
been there.
know,
go.
I've been there since a long time, Far. I'm telling you,
I'm
Chelsea is
with you,
gonna
bro. I'm
whoop
with
that
you.
ass.
we're all about to hold.
Hey, and if we lose, bro, it's just the League Cup. Just the League Cup.
We're ready.
Just the
We
League
got
Cup.
scenario A, scenario B. We're locked in.
We don't
Um,
lose.
I know, but I look. It is. You're right. It is just the League Cup. That's my take. No matter who wins it,
All right.
but it has implications. I think bigger implications for Liverpool than you.
Yeah.
We're talking about this fairy tale send off for Klopp. It's about to get real
Oh, I want to win
tragic.
so bad, dude. I
If
want to win
it's
Yeah,
about
so
to get
bad.
real
dude.
tragic if you rain on their parade this early. We talk about momentum builders. This could be a momentum killer, bro. Half your squad gets injured. You fumble a final to Chelsea this season. Chelsea, I could see, you know, Mo Salah freaking out in the locker room,
Nah.
pushing somebody.
I just
Like,
want one. I want one negative Sky Sports segment, just one, where someone's
Yeah.
like, "Hey, maybe we should say something bad against the nation's favorite team."
Yeah, please.
Please, like I'm sick of it, dude. I'm
I'm
so sick
sick.
of Jamie Carragher, bro. Enough.
No.
Silence him, dude.
Chelsea must do it, bro. Do it for
Please,
us.
man.
Uh,
If we
even
win
when
in the,
we
I want to
even
win in
when we
like a
whoop,
corrupt way too. Please, I want a handball like 10
give me
miles
that.
offsides,
Give me that
VAR to
bar
shut
offset.
down, power loss to the stadium. I want it all, dude.
Oh, so facts. Like even if when Arsenal smacked them, they were loving Liverpool. Like when are they gonna
Yeah.
get the
It is what it is, dude.
frustrating?
I wish we had a Liverpool fan here with us today, man, because there's no
We
pushback.
tried.
We
We
got it
tried.
off. We got
We
it off.
tried.
But I don't
I'm
know.
excited though. Excited
I'm very
times.
excited. I will be tuning in. You will catch me
Yes,
there.
sir.
Another really crazy implication that I recently just read. We talked about that. That relates to cups. We talked about the fixture list, right? And I mentioned that Everton away is currently slated after Man City, right? But if Liverpool progress to the semifinal of the FA Cup, which is
Mhm.
fairly likely, that Everton away game gets sandwiched between Spurs and their last game of the season. So it could, bro, all these little things I think play huge uh differences in the outcome.
And I
So,
have I have one last thing I want to add to the legacy talk. Now,
oh,
if you compare when Jurgen Klopp joined Liverpool
ah,
2015-16 all the way up until now, and you compare Chelsea as a club 2015-16 all the way to now, like the same year span, they both have won 6 trophies. One Premier League each, one Champions League each, a Europa League, FA Cup, League Cup, FA Cup,
No.
Super Cup, Club World Cup, Club World Cup, 6 each. So
No
this
shot.
this trophy could actually, in all our years of chaos, the last 8 years, push us ahead one more. Look it up, please. I might be
dog,
missing a Community Shield. Forget those, but
dog.
That's a crazy
You might
number.
have cooked. Forrest, I don't know. I don't think you realize it. You just opened Pandora's box.
no, we're not going to get into, obviously league finishes shows a different picture of the last,
Hey, league
eight
finishes don't
years.
give you a piece of metal, dog. I'm gonna be honest.
But yeah, this tournament has a lot on the line, dude. Legacy talk.
Wow. Wow.
And we must stop Klopp from winning anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because I mean they could get a Europa League. You know what I mean? But
Oh, I forgot they're in that, dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we talked about Europe messing us up. That could mess them up. Never underestimate the Europa League. Um, anything else? I think we had everything covered. Do we want to
Yeah.
do quick Champions League predictions? The ties so far have been kind of dead. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, we only got 2 games left tomorrow,
Yeah,
right?
dude.
Yeah, but I think they're the two most entertaining games from my point of view.
Did we ever pick winners of like the whole comp? Did we ever
We
talk about that? I forgot. I think I said like
I don't.
Atletico or something.
Yeah.
we
Regret that
did.
already.
You did not say Atletico.
Oh, I
If
didn't.
you did that, that would be some
That'd
truly
be
hipster
If
crazy.
we can go back and
Premtard.
find that,
Pretty sure you
I
said Bayern or something, Bayern or City or something.
just the obvious ones then.
Yeah, I
It's
think
not really a
with
fun
this,
combo.
you gotta go obvious. It'll probably be one of those guys. Let's just do quick predictions for tomorrow, though. Arsenal play Porto away. I'm going for Arsenal win 3-1.
Oh, it is
Anything?
tomorrow. I don't know why I was thinking it was
Two
next week.
zero,
I'm
two zero
bugging.
dub, 2-0 dub.
2-0 dub for us.
Yeah, I got Arsenal winning, but I think I'd say 3-1.
3-1. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. And then the other game, which I'm probably gonna have on the side, Osimhen watch. Napoli versus Barcelona. The game is in Italy. So Napoli have, the advantage. I'm going a draw. 2-2.
I'll say Napoli win. I think they
Yeah.
just fired their manager too, right?
What?
But like they fired him. This their second manager of the season, so they're on to their like
Oh
interim
no.
slash third. I'll say Napoli win.
Yeah. I say 1-0
Yeah,
Napoli win.
new manager bounce.
All righty. We'll only look back if I'm right. All right. So see you guys. Thanks for watching. It's been a big week for us on our TikTok. We officially hit 100 followers.
Oh, let's
Uh,
go.
so we
That's
want to
class,
thank
mate. That's
y'all.
class.
We want to thank y'all. I really didn't know how to react to all this fame. I'm still adjusting to it. Be patient with us. Um, I know I've been teasing that giveaway for a minute. Details will come out shortly because we have hit our goal. So stay tuned, stay watching, stay hitting the buttons. It makes our day. We giggle about it. So yeah, keep it up. We will see you next time. Bye bye.
Peace.
Peace.